Well, good morning, guys. I decided to excuse me, do a good paint job. Breathing Bondo. Anyway, I've got a lot of holes here on the cowl. Don't know what they were. They're original. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut me up a bunch of little pieces of metal. I'm gonna hold them on the inside with a magnet, and I'm just gonna weld them. I've got quite a few of them. I'm not gonna try to weld them up completely. But I need to sort this cowl out, get rid of all these holes, and I think I'll bring this out with some Bondo here or something. So I'm going to paint this whole I don't know why I'm sneezing. I'm going to paint that whole section same color as the roof. It'll go down here. But anyway, I've got a lot of holes here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 on both sides, and probably another 14. So I got like 20 holes I got to patch. I'm going to just grind this down with a grinder to start with, so I can weld to it, and then I'll have to try to reach up under there, hold a little piece of metal and weld into it. I'll set you up on a tripod and show you the start of this. Well, the first thing is I'm using a grinder and not a flappy disc, because I want to get some good metal here, and this will be the quickest way to do it. Well, I've got a little piece here that I cut off of the firewall, I believe. I'm just going to knock off the edges of it with a flapper disc. Cut me some pieces. 3/4 of an inch to an inch long. And now I'll put them in, put them on a magnet, and reach up in here, try to weld them. I've got a little magnet here, and I took one of my little pieces. I'm just going to stick it on the magnet, try to reach in the hole. I don't know if you can see this, looks like it. I'll just kind of weld it in a little. Two or three spots. I'm not trying to weld it up all the way around. Just trying to get the metal welded good into the back of the hole. Got some grind spots on the little plate that I'm putting in. Just trying to get the plate to cover the hole. Off the little plate. Just so I can hold it. Get it over where the hole needs to go. Yeah. Boy, I trimmed myself up good there. Yeah, just ripped my whole arm up. Need to go put a band-aid on that. Well, that shocked me a little bit. grinder and clean this up. Here. Stick it up in here and try it again. Metal just don't want to take an arc good. Gonna burn a hole in it. Not so easy patching these holes. Another blade here, this is kind of a long one. Looks pretty good. I'm trying to break the arc onto the body first. Knock me again. Yep. Got to turn my wire feed down. Just running too much wire in there. And I lost the magnet. plate in. Bigger piece. Moving on to the next one. Looks like I welded into my magnet there. That looks pretty good. Too bad. Up a little better than I planned. This one wound up with a pretty good sized hole in it. Bigger. This next one here is a pretty long one. Try to get a plate on it good back there. If it shocks me, then I'll just have to grin and bear it. Touching it. Too hot. It's not bad. Next hole's a little smaller. This will cover good. It. Plate's stuck on there. with. But it is hot. Patch. Try to get it in there. The magnet's still pretty hot. This time, hopefully I can reach through from the dash. Here we go. Oops. That's pretty good. Try to break my arc again on the body and then take it onto the patch. Once the patch is started, good. Down. Alright. Bring it in here. See if you can see this. Zooming ain't working too well. Some little holes are in it. So now I'm going to take some welding rod and I'm going to try to patch up those holes without burning bigger holes in my thing. Alright, got some rod here. I've got you hopefully focused on some of this bad stuff. Anywhere I got a fairly big hole, I just put a rod in it. And just melt the rod right into the hole. To get it pretty much all plugged up. Here's where it burnt through into the thin. Putting the rod in the hole. And I'm putting pressure on it so when it melts the rod it fills the hole up. Closing my eyes here in case you're wondering. Not looking at it. keep melting rod into it. Till I pretty much got it filled up. And then I take a little grinder to it, knock it off. So it's all ground down pretty much. A little bit more here on the top. That should be pretty good. I've still got some little holes in it, but it's strong enough now that Bondo will go in there and fill these holes, and it should hold pretty good. So I just have to do that for the rest of these holes. I did about 5 or 6 holes here. And that's what I have to do across the whole thing. Technique is exactly the same all the way through. Alright, I got this all sanded down. I got them welded up to here. I didn't get this one yet. These are ground down, and I've roughed this area up here so my Bondo will stick. UPS came and brought me a gallon of body filler, but didn't have any hardener. So I just went down to the store and bought a gallon of cowl. It's good stuff. It's light. Yeah, it was actually pretty cheap, 30 bucks. I was paying more for that than this other stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and Bondo this up. While I'm at it, I've got, I never did finish back here on the door. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to my Bondoing. I've got this thing right here I've got to clean up. I'm going to extend this line right here, so this is doesn't just end here. I think there was some kind of a clamp. That's where the holes were before. So I'm going to extend this, try to fill all this area here, and we'll see what happens. Let's mix them up. Alright, I got some of the U-Paul on the board. It's pretty runny looking. Brand new can, of course. This particular one's got a blue hardener in it. It's probably about 80 out here, so I didn't put a lot of hardener in it. I guess we left a pretty little batch. Just put this on here over these holes. It's more of a test than anything. And I'm using a lot of pressure right on the hole. Try to, if there's pinholes through it, force this bundle into the metal. That looks pretty good. Now I'm just gonna try to put an even layer over it. See, I don't know how straight this is going to be. Looks pretty good. Feels like it's getting a little hard, so I'll try to fill this section up here where this body line is. Probably not going to be able to get it very good the first time. I can sort this out, put more Bondo on any metal I have here. It's getting a little stiff. But the way it's going on, it's not really running anymore. And then I'll use that and try to fill up lows. Pretty much looks like it. Place it here I can try to fill. There's a bolt hole that I welded up. That looks like the welding right next to my Bondo. When it splatters, it puts little pieces into the Bondo. Anyway, that's that. Let me clean up my rag here. Alright, I'm going to knock all this whole side down here with the PA. So I put the next coat, I can spread it across this whole thing here. worth filming. The sandpaper doesn't want to come off of the VA. It's starting to tear up. So an easy way to get it off is take a torch and just heat it up a little. As soon as you see it smoke, that's plenty. Trying to melt the whole thing, and then just take a screwdriver or something. You see the whole thing just peels off real easy. Put your new one on. It's still a little hot. Keeps that glue soft. And you got another one good as new. Anyway, let me knock this down and see what it looks like. Chewed some of this down. Okay, now I'm ready to try to fill this. So what I'll do is try to fill this body line here and get my Bondo in, and while I'm putting the Bondo on the rest of it, this will have a little more chance to harden. But basically, I want to try to get Bondo over the whole thing. And I've got some high spots here. They're not exactly, you know, where I welded it or anything. So I'll just have to, then it's pretty straight all the way up and down, so I'm just going to try to feather a thin coat of Bondo on there, and next time I go over it, I'll take the board sander to try to get it smooth. You really can't get a smooth flat surface with a DA. I suppose if you had some way of holding it with a machine or something so it would stay on a perfect angle, you might have a chance, but Bad Chad says he can do it, but I don't believe that. He doesn't preach it anymore, so maybe he found out that he couldn't. Alright, I'll get some Bondo mixed up and we'll go at it again. Alright, give this another go. Ooh, I'm scratching. I just had it. Got a pretty good amount of Bondo on here, and I'm kind of light on the hardener because I could feel that last batch was getting pretty stiff at the end, and it hardened quick enough. So this time I'm giving myself a little bit more time because I got a pretty big area here I'm trying to cover. Anyway, that looks pretty good. First thing is try to fill up this area here where I got my body line. Sort of trim it. It's pretty good. Hard to do around those bolts. I'll cut that all out of there. Just throw some of this up here on this. I'm using a lot of pressure. Putting it on the best I can. A thin, even coat. Looks pretty good. Now I'll just try to get the rest on here. Put the heavy part where the welds were. Putting a lot on it. I can kind of feel the low spots. I want to get it good up here in the corner where it hits that seam, and I'm just sort of smoothing this out. And then I'll go to fill up any other places that are showing the red Bondo through. Looking pretty good. This Bondo's getting hard already. So we'll just try to hustle this along. If you once your Bondo starts getting hard, just give up. Don't try to save a little Bondo or a little time. Just quit Call it good. So this is getting a little stiff. I've got some bondo left. I'll put it in, oh, like up here I can force this into some of these cracks. It's still spreading and going on, but it's not really any good for fine stuff at this point. Got some left. Got a lot of places up here on my cowl that still need bondo. Just trying to use up what I got left. Can. That's pretty good. Got a couple tiny holes here. So that's about it. I got on here as best I could. Cleaning up any corners so I won't have to sand them later. That's about it. Take my old rag and clean my spreader. Get another rag, not many clean spots left. That's pretty good. Too much right here. Little screw holes here. Hopefully that'll hold. Should weld them, but there we go. Alright, there's that, and now I'll let it harden quite a bit better. I can tell it's still soft because I didn't really put enough hardener in there. It's getting hard to spread, but it's good enough for what I'm trying to do here. Alright, this is hardened up a few minutes. I'm going to knock it down with a board. real thin, and I'll just cover this whole thing here with a thin coat, and that should just about finish off this piece. I got one tiny high spot right here, and it's hitting right there, so this is all pretty straight. You notice I used the board horizontal just to knock some of the stuff down, but as I was straightening the panel, I ran it vertically so I'd get a straight shot here. If I was to take a DA to it now, I could kind of curve this area right here and get rid of these places, but it would have a curve in it, and I want a straight shot across the whole thing. So I think one more thin coat across this whole deal here, and this panel will be done. All the holes are gone, and I can see my heavy sandpaper scratches up here, and since I've got the thin Bondo, I'll try to mix enough to cover this whole top piece at the same time, and then all I'll have to do is go in here and trim up some of this edge around this, but for now I just keep putting Bondo on it until I get above where I want it. Probably one more coat will do it. We'll mix one up, put it on there, and see what it does. Well, this time I mixed up some with a lot of body honey in it, and same thing, I'm using a lot of pressure to push it into those sand scratches. This should be the last coat. I might have to touch it up a little, but the stuff's really running. It's running off of my board. But it's super wet. I didn't put a lot of hardener in it, so it'll take a while to dry. Like always, first thing is to get it all on your surface first, and then worry about spreading it after. Just get it all even across there, best you can. I know there's a low spot here, so I'm trying to put enough on there to fill it. Catching my bottom good. Hopefully I won't have very many, if any, low spots. Now I'll try to, well, this stuff is starting to harden already. Plenty good for filling stuff. It's not much good now for making a smooth coat. So I'm just filling any rough stuff with it. That's about bit. I didn't get it on as good as I would have liked. I'm still going to have some waves right in there. Can't do a lot about that. I'm still kind of flexible. I'm just filling holes that I know I got. Put just a little more thinner than a little more hardener than I thought I needed in there because of the thinner, but I shouldn't have done that. I got it to harden too fast, so that means I'm probably going to have to put another thin coat on it. But I basically got rid of all my low spots. I got some right in here. I don't know, I can't tell. Once I sand it, I'll be able to tell better. But again, each bundle's different. This stuff hardens up a lot quicker than this red stuff I was working with last time. So I have to account for that. The other stuff was, I mixed it up where I thought it would be good and it wasn't hardening at all. So I put more thinner in it. But the same principle don't apply to this. So anyway, there's probably this final thin coat. If there is some not too bad places in it, I'll take the DA and just smooth that out. But I think that's good for this. And so it's the same bondo, and I'll go on to the door frame back there. A little different shooting this on a camera and not a phone. But I'll go ahead and fill that door up and press on. Yeah, this looks pretty good actually. Those 7 or 8 holes are definitely gone. But I wasn't finished with that panel, and now I kind of am. So, get to work on this door frame. Here I got some regular strength hardener, or bondo. I guess I ought to call this stuff by the right name. U-Poly. U-Pol. And I didn't put as much hardener in here. I put about half of what I thought I should take. This I don't care if it hardens fast. Just rough sanded that real quick. Same thing, I'm just forcing it into the door. Getting the base layer stuck in good. And then I'm just filling the whole door up. That's pretty good. Got a lot of bondo left here, so I'm gonna just fill some spots that are obviously low. This all looks pretty good. Not really getting much in the back here. Just get that on there as good as I can. Right in here. Yeah, that was a good call on the hardener. Gap here. Got some here in the front of the door. Still spreading. I can feel it getting a little stiffer, but it's pretty good. Don't want to mess with that anymore. Get this. Let's go over to the other side of the car. And now I've got those spots over here. Just try to fill them up. Yeah, I like this filler. Works good. When you get the hardener mix right, it still spreads pretty good, even after you can see it starting to harden. Gives you maybe 5 minutes working time. So that should do it on the door. This looks real good. I don't have no streaks or anything in it. Probably won't have to use any more Bondo. Probably use the rest of it with glazing putty or something. But that finished the door. Of course, I got to sand it all down now. And cover the whole door. But I'm not at that point of trying to do final Bondo. I'm just trying to get this side finished. This door was finished, almost done. I just ran out of Bondo. But that looks real good there. So I'll pull you off of here and see if we can get a close-up. You can see here that it's real straight, no streaks from the spreader. You might have a little tiny low spot there, but that finishes this door. I think more sanding here on this. Finish that. My holes are gone up to there. This is starting to get a pretty good shape to it. I'll take my cutoff tool and open this gap up. But anyway, like I say, this was one of my least favorite jobs, but probably the most important. Getting Did a good paint job. I should have wiped my Bondo out of here. I didn't. That's alright. I'll take it out with a piece of folded sandpaper. So this door, you would never know that it was in 5 pieces, 6 pieces. Looks like a real door. Down here on the bottom, I need to do something. When I put this door on, I matched the front and the back against this bottom 2x2 brace, and moving it around a little, it's I probably got a finger's width there, you know, half an inch up to nothing there. And this thing's got this round pipe in it in the bottom, and I tried to transition it here, but it's never going to be a very good job. So what I'm thinking about doing is welding another piece in that is curved to the door, and making a better seal. It's basically the same on the other side. I still got to get on this thing. I got to weld it up, fix some of these rusted out spots. Back here in the back, it's the worst. I think I'll just cut me an L-shaped plate there and just weld it on. I don't know. We'll see when I get to that point. I use this camera a long time. I like it a lot. It's a good little camera. I forgot I had it. I ordered another, like a SLR camera. Well, this is pretty hard. I'll take my little Bondo thing here. Just take this off. I'm kind of stupid trying to do it with one hand. I'll gouge it. I took the board sander to this. It's real good, but I cut a couple little spots in it. And I sanded this one down. It's real straight. Glazing putty, more or less, will fix all this. And I decided to go over to the other side and do a little work on it. This door sticking out a little right here. This top needs to be filled a little. But the main problem is this door is hitting this front of the cowl. And it's quite a bit. It's a couple inches. I can close it, but you can see the hinge is moving here. So I thought about cutting off a little bit of the door and welding it back up, but you can see there's rust in it. It's probably going to be a rat's nest if I open that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cutoff tool and I'm going to split this right here. And then I'm going to pound this back and give myself a little bit of room, and once that's done, then I'll weld this back up and grind it off. So I think that's probably my best bet to fix this. I can tell it's really not perfectly straight, but this can all be massaged with Bondo. I did knock this one in a little bit right in here, but if I pound it in without cutting it, I'm going to put a big high spot in it, and don't want to do that. So I got to get this door where it closes properly without a lot of pressure or anything, and then from there I can go ahead and work on this whole side. I have to weld these holes up, do the same thing I did on the other side. So I'll get the cutoff tool and open this up, and we'll see what happens. Well, I cut this out and pounded it in a little, welded it up, and then ground it ready for Bondo. And of course I discovered a lot more holes here in the door. Basically the whole bottom of the doors, all them little black spots back there, I think are rust. But the skin wasn't the source of my door interference problem, but it was the source of no gap. It was holding little, but the hinge inside is hidden. I can't really do anything about that, but I can do something about this. So I got it moved back. I've got a good enough gap there, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little cardboard in it, cut it off, and try to fill this whole section here with Bondo. I need to sand that door some more, and I also have some kind of problem right in here where this pipe joins this. I don't know what the best deal to be with that. I'll figure out something. Maybe split it and beat it in and fill all that with Bondo. But anyway, let me get some cardboard cut and put in there, and we'll Bondo this up, and then I can move on to trying to sort this business here out. This is quite a bit. It shouldn't really be a problem because there's no chance of anything really hitting it up here to break that Bondo. So even though it's a quarter of an inch, it shouldn't be that bad. Well, that's all rough Bondoed. Cut a piece of cardboard, stuck in it, smoothed it out. I looked on the other side of the door. This whole thing's got holes in it, one end to the other. You can see down there, everywhere you see a spot of light, it's a rust hole. Now, I think I undercoated this door. I really don't want to cut that whole door panel out of there. That's a pretty long patch. A lot of welding. So what I think I'll do is take a couple pieces, because I got that brace there in the middle, a couple flat pieces, put a little bend in them. Rust converter them real well, clamp them in there, and then weld it from this side right through all the holes. Just weld those holes up to a good strong plate. That won't fix it. It really needs to be cut out of there and a whole piece put in. But I don't really want to do that. There's going to be no way I can stop it from rusting in there without doing it. Anyway, that'll be a project for another day. Right now I'm gonna clean this all up and try to get this cowl part to match the door there.